Press, press, press. Probably don't need no press. Ra-ta-ta-ta. Okay. Hello, it's been a minute since I was on here. Last year I took a very long break off YouTube, and it was just like that awkward moment after uni, which, as you can see from the title of this video, is what we're going to be talking about today. As I get ready, I did a very simple look, like really warm eyes, cat eyelash, nothing really crazy. So I'm gonna be doing that as I talk to you about life after uni and share a couple of tips of how you can make the transition from uni life to like adult life a bit easier on yourself. So let's get into the makeup. So I've already moisturized and primed. I use the Natural Organics. She did a custom blend for me. If you message her and tell her about your skin type, then she can do a blend for you. So she did a custom blend for me. I have oily skin, so I used that, and then I used the La Roche-Posay, I don't know how to pronounce it, Effaclar Duo, which has SPF in it. I really like this because it like sort of mattifies, so the makeup just looks better. Then I start with my eyes. So I graduated in 2018. So last year was like my first full year out of uni, which was it just felt like one long awkward moment. So I just figured I'd talk about like what you could do to just get ready for that. And let me just mention quickly, I'm going to be using the James Charles palette and this Cara palette, which is the ES6. This is more neutral. Like I used my James Charles palette less actually because it's a bit brighter and stuff. Like I prefer using this most times because it's like natural. And when I'm doing just a brown look, I'll mix this with my sleek Oh So Special palette. Like these two are like my everyday. I won't be able to mention every single makeup product I'm using, but I'll leave a list in the description. Yeah, so I came up with a list of like 4 things. I have minutes. But 4 things that I think you should do just to make that awkward moment a bit less awkward. The first point, track your spending habits. For this, I would say like the main goal of it is just to see how long you can stretch out your money. Because like when you're done with uni, your parents are not, they want you to have a plan. They might not outright, actually they probably will outright ask you what your plan is. And financially, they sort of start throwing responsibilities on you and start expecting more from you. So it just helps to know how long you can stretch out your cash, whether it's an allowance you usually get or whatever income source you have. If you are not to get any other money, like if your parents cut you off completely with that last allowance, how long would you actually be able to survive? And when I say track your spendings, I mean including the specific thing you spent your money on. So it'll be like I spent, for example, 2,000 at Mama Rocks, and then when you look at it at the end of the month, you're able to see how much you're spending on all these different things. So then it helps you prioritize your spending, because sometimes you'll be out here spending money you don't even have, owing yourself money. I feel like your 20s, you really need to start thinking about your savings and your long-term goals and all these small enjoyment things we spend money on come to bite us in the butt. See what I mean? Like the eye look is so neutral. I barely look like I have anything on my eyes, but that's what I want. When you track your spending, you can actually see, okay, how much money do I, like what's my actual, what is it called in economics, that the money you can spend? Your disposable income. What is your actual disposable income? Second thing I want to talk about is, so first, track your spending habits. Second is start thinking about your identity capital. So recently my friend Miriam put me onto this book. It's called The Defining Decade by Meg J, where she talks about like your 20s and all these things you need to think about that no one really thinks about. She's a psychologist, so she based it off of her experience with her patients who she used to see for therapy, who are mostly 20-somethings. So there's something in the book where she talks about identity capital. And that's basically, as the assets in a business, you yourself have a collection of personal assets. So they sort of identify you. Like, for example, what you put on your resume. The point here is to just develop a sense of yourself. In uni, it's easy to get lost and caught up in just the group mentality, like we. And then you sort of come out here and it's like, oh, cool, it's just me, right? Dope. But if you haven't figured out who that me is, you're just kind of lost. And it's sad. So how you can build on your identity capital is to invest in your interests. Whatever it is you want to do in the bigger picture, start thinking about it as you're winding down uni. For me, what I did is my plan when I got to uni was always to just get in and get out. So I was able to finish my coursework in like about 3 years. Maybe 3 years in like a semester or thereabout. So though I graduated in 2018, the whole of 2018 I was already not in school. I did a marketing degree, so I took that time to start doing a professional marketing course called CIM. Because I was like, there's thousands of us graduating and I'm like, I know I really truly want to work in the marketing industry, but how will I set myself apart? I finished CIM last year, but you see, by the time we were graduating, with my classmates, I had already done like an extra thing. So just take time to actually think about what you actually like. And this actually ties into my third point, which is narrow down your focus. So there's a lot of things you could do, right? Like the world when you graduate is your oyster, so to speak. I remember in that same book, The Defining Decade, she talked about this experiment where scientists had like an activation in a supermarket, and they had 2 stations. One had, let's say, about 5 different jams. Like you could taste the jam and then buy, and another one had, I think, like over like 15 or something like that. The numbers are not accurate, but you get what I'm saying. And they found that the station which had the fewer jams for taste and purchase is the one that got the most sales. And they explained it that if there are too many options, it just doesn't work out because your mind can't think about 25 different careers at the same time or 25 different goals at the same time. So you need to narrow down your focus so that you can be intentional about what exactly it is you're going for. Like maybe you want to be a pilot, but you also want to be in marketing, but you also want to be a blogger. You will not be as able to invest yourself in all those things equally. And so if you're able to narrow down on what your actual options are and what exactly you actually want to go for, then it makes it easier for you to just focus on something and go for it as hard as you can. Even as you narrow down your focus, just be realistic. Okay, you want to make money. Money is your biggest priority at this point. So then what exactly are you going to do about that? And I feel like it's the time now to go for it. I'm using the cat eyelashes from Sheba Beauty. I shall leave the link in the description. The last thing I want to say is just for yourself, on a personal level, as you, please set some goals. Figure out what's next for you outside of your friend group, outside of your relationship, if you're in one. And I mean this in every single aspect, professionally, socially. What do you want to do in the next 5 years? It doesn't have to be a specific detailed plan, but I mean, at the very least, you should have an idea. You as an individual, what do you want? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What are your goals? So I set under my eyes where I just put the corrector with my concealer brush, and then I set the rest of my face. I know people usually set the face, like I learned this from Aunt Jackie. We're about to look really ashy. I know people usually set the face with beauty blender. I don't like it. I just prefer to use this. It's just easier for me. With makeup, you just have to do what you want. Like, it's fun. It's not that serious. Keep doing it. Keep practicing and do what works for you. So for me, this is what works. It just helps my makeup stay on a bit longer. For foundation, I'll be using Maybelline. I feel like when you use Maybelline foundation with Maybelline powder, it just works better. I blend it out with a brush. And then I just go over it with a damp sponge. I like to blend them with a sponge so it's not like hella makeup. With concealer, don't pull. Like, I pull at the ends just to like end it, but then under the eye I press it into the skin. I use a concealer brush to just place the powder. Like hella powder. My under eye is always creased, but that's something I'm still not happy with. And then just let it sit there for a bit. So I always use this under my eye ring, so it just sort of brightens a bit. So as I brush off the excess, I put a bit of this under here. Then usually by this point I've messed up my eyebrows, so I just go over them again. Then I'll just set my face again. Maybe this is like a full face of almost top of my eyes. Lips. Again, natural organics. I mean, support your local business, guys. Support your local female-owned businesses. She has amazing products. I can vouch her out. My skin is doing pretty good, I think so. And then NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Praline. This is a really good nude gloss. But just see my lips before and just look at the... It just adds like a light nude film on it. You see, like, did you see the difference before and after? And then I go over it with just my 50 Bob gloss from town. Because nothing shines like this one. Literally, that's it. That was pretty easy, right? Let me just take off my hair. So yes, guys, this is the finished look. It was a really simple look. I literally used like 3 eyeshadows. I forgot something. I need to do this. Makes every eye makeup look pop 10 times more. Get your highlighter, whatever highlighter it is. But if you're doing like a clear look, try to get more of a silvery one. Because mine is neutral. I'm gonna use Trophy Life from Fenty. I'll just use my small little brush and I go like with a minimal product just in my tear duct. That, and then whatever shadow color you use in the crease, which for me, as you can see, this palette is well loved. With the color I use in my crease, which is this brown, and I just go on my waterline. Like just under, it ties it all together. Look at the difference between this eye where I've done the bottom and this where I haven't. Like, it makes such a big difference. And I'm actually done. If you're watching this, I mean, these are 4 really simple tips. Track your spending, build your identity capital, narrow down your focus, and set some goals. These are 4 very simple things that you could do to just make the transition from uni to adult life a bit better. Some of these actually you could use them in whatever stage you are in your life. It doesn't just apply to uni people, but I was doing it because of my experience. Definitely, if you can, read The Defining Decade by Meg J. I'll leave a link. I listened to it on Audible. I've been obsessed with Audible. Can you sponsor me Audible? And I just want to leave you guys with a quote. Those people. The future is not written in the stars. There are no guarantees, so claim your adulthood. Get to work, because you are deciding your life right now. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you subscribe, give it like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.